not moving forward. I want to hold up. You keep going back to the. No, I'm not. I'm listening. You need to. You're not letting me finish.
The Texas trio, Stephanie, Brandi, and Kary, are here to talk about all that Dallas drama.
This room here is considered the murder room.
This is your reality check.
This is what we live for.
That's right, Jordan. This is what we live for. This is Reality Check. I'm your host, Lyndsey Rodrigues, and we have got a full show for your Thursday. Now, to start us off, I am joined by Bravo and all-around reality TV expert, the lovely Dave Quinn.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Good sir. How are you?
Happy Spirit Day.
Happy Spirit Day to you, too. This is a day when we stand up against bullying and
That's
support
right.
LGBTQ youth.
And we wear purple. It's very nice for us to dress the set in purple.
Exactly. So everyone out there, we support you and we love you. We have loads to cover today, so why don't we get right into our top 5. At number 5, congratulations are in order for John Luke Robertson. The Duck Dynasty star and his wife Mary-Kate welcomed their first child together on Monday. The new mum actually shared the good news 2 days later on Instagram alongside a snapshot of the new arrival with the caption, "Hi, baby John Shepherd." Now look, Duck Dynasty, that was quite the show.
Yeah, it was huge.
Right? And there's a lot of reboots happening these days. Do you think Duck Dynasty could be up next?
It would be a perfect show to reboot. I would love to see what they're all up to, and they're clearly growing the dynasty more and more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised that baby didn't come out with a full beard.
I know, and drinking a Bud Light. All right, well, let's see if Duck Dynasty hits our screens again in the near future. At number 4, like mother, like daughter. Jessica Simpson shared a new photo of her 6-month-old daughter, Birdie Mae, on the gram, calling her cute baby girl her dimple double. I can't, too cute. Both blondes posed for the black and white snapshot and shared identical smiles for the camera. And Jessica welcomed Birdie in March. And Birdie is actually the 3rd child that Jessica shares with her husband and NFL star Eric Johnson. What do we think? Like, Jessica has had such the evolution from singer to reality star to entrepreneur. What do you think of her evolution?
I think that she's come such a long way, and she's an amazing mom. It's just been so fun to see her grow into this role. I'm curious whether she would show the kids the old episodes of Newlyweds.
I know, it's an interesting thing because it does represent a time when she wasn't with their dad. She was married to someone else, but at the same time, you got to pay homage to where you came from.
I mean, that chicken of the sea, that scene alone, like that's just, she should just start there.
I think so. Look, put it this way, with YouTube and everything, if she doesn't show them, they'll find it themselves anyway, so probably get ahead of it, you know? And at number 3, Christina Anstead is not sugarcoating mum life. The Flip or Flop star revealed that her son will sometimes cry for hours straight, with a new mum saying newborn life is hard. She welcomed her 3rd child, Hudson London, almost 6 weeks ago with her new husband, Ant, and says since the birth, things have not been easy. So what do you think about Christina's openness? Is this one of the reasons we fell in love with her to begin with?
Yeah, I mean, look, they were on Flip or Flop together, and we watched her go through this very public divorce. And then from that moment, she couldn't really hide anything. She's been really open about everything, finding new love, starting this, blending her family, starting this new life, and now having a child. I'm glad that she's so open about these things. I'm not glad she's going through these struggles. That's really tough.
I know, particularly when you have to get up and then shoot a show and renovate houses on very little sleep because your baby's been crying all night.
But I always think about all the moms out there who are still going through similar things, and now that they likely look at somebody like her and feel like they're not alone. That's really important.
And that's the key, and that is the beauty of social media. There are a lot of pitfalls, but that's one of the great things about it, is that sense of community.
Yeah.
At number 2, Jeff Lewis is opening up about a parenting dilemma of his own that he's facing with his daughter Monroe. The Flipping Out star revealed on his SiriusXM radio show that he panicked after his daughter started calling her nanny mum. He said, well, actually, mom. Probably didn't say mum because she's not Australian. I just sit there paralyzed, he said, and panicked, not knowing what to say. He went on to say that he still has not addressed it. Dave, I'd love your opinion on this. As a member of the gay community yourself, like, do you ever think about this if you had kids and how you would address the lack of presence of a mother?
Yeah, I think about it a lot. And what was fascinating about this conversation is that he was speaking with his therapist on the radio, and she was saying, why Monroe might be doing these things. And likely at 3 years old, she's at the developmental age where she's just following patterns. So the other women that she's seeing who are in adult roles around her at preschool are mothers, and they're being called moms, so that she's likely just repeating that. But, Jeff was a pioneer on reality TV for showing exactly what this surrogate experience is like.
Yeah.
He's one of the first gay people to go through it. He's opened the door for a lot of people, even his big Bravo boss at the time, Andy Cohen. I think it's interesting that he's now talking about this next stage and some of the conflicts that are there. So I'm not sure how I would handle it, but I'm grateful that he's kind of paving the way with these conversations.
And look, even though he and his partner are no longer together, hopefully they're co-parenting and figuring it out as they go along together.
Yes, they are. They have a little bit of a rocky custody battle that they're going through, but they are both prioritizing their time with Monroe, and that's all that matters.
That is all that matters, so we wish them well. And at number 1, Joe Giudice is ready for battle as the Real Housewives of New Jersey star awaits a decision regarding his latest deportation appeal in Italy. He is staying in shape, as you can see in this video right here. Now, Joe's eldest daughter, Gia, shared clips of her dad working out with the caption, "We come back stronger than before. The fight is just starting." Now, this actually comes on the heels of news that his wife, Teresa, is setting the record straight about that super tease that we saw for the new season, because in the clip she seemingly admitted to hooking up with someone during her marriage. But her lawyer, James Leonard Jr., spoke to People to explain the backstory behind the comment and says he's furious by how Bravo edited the video and the media's coverage of it. So Dave, there's a lot to unpack here.
Oof, yeah.
Can you talk us through this bit by bit?
Sure. The first major thing is that Joe is living here in Italy and is working out to keep that body that he basically got after being in prison and behind bars, not drinking. He lost a ton of weight. So
good for the mind too.
Good for the mind. We've heard he's trained to be an MFA fighter or
good for
MMA
him.
fighter.
MMA.
And is working at that. And clearly his martial arts training is coming into handy. He said in a video on Gia's Instagram story as well that he is also going to fight to come back. So it is really all tied into this this big fight that they're having for him to hopefully come back to the United States. Now, the other thing that James Leonard, Teresa's lawyer, told us and told People was that he is not at all, that Teresa rather was not at all unfaithful with Joe. And this was a big question that a lot of fans had, including People, when we watched the trailer yesterday. We reported on here, right?
Yeah,
on Reality Check,
yeah, we sure did. We talked about this just the other day.
Yeah, so it's the question of what she's doing, because she had opened about the fact that she had hooked up with somebody else.
Right.
And we weren't really sure what that meant. And James says that this is actually somebody that she knew 30 years ago before she ever met Joe, just bringing him on the show and kind of talking about that they had hooked up. So it's a little bit of shady editing on Bravo's part. Jim mentioned that they were pretty upset about that. It's frustrating to see that that's the way the network is treating her in the midst of all of this.
Can they take legal action, or is that
I don't think so,
contractually?
but we're really hopefully at this point that, now that everything is clear, we can kind of continue to seek the truth moving forward.
Definitely. And of course, for more updates on all things Housewives, you got to follow this man and of course, people.com.
Yeah.
He's the expert. Now, Dave and I are going to take a very quick break, but when we come back, the Real Housewives of Dallas are joining us to break down last night's very spooky episode. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Now, I am still here with Bravo expert Dave Quinn. And you know what, Dave? Ain't no party like a housewife party, because a housewife party don't stop. We have got 3 sassy Dallas housewives in the house: Stephanie Hollman, Brandi Redmond, and Kary Brittingham. Welcome.
Thank you.
It is like a beauty bomb exploding up in this joint.
Everything is bigger in Texas, all right.
And more beautiful.
We love you.
Well, look, we're so glad that you guys could be here with us today. So right off the bat, we're going to start off with a fan question, because we told the Twitterverse that you guys were coming in today. And Blue Jean LL would like to know, how do you feel about how you're portrayed by the show based on how it's edited?
Oh, wow.
I feel like I'm portrayed very, very accurate. I mean, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, I would have to say across the board. I mean, it's very much like you put yourself out there, you're vulnerable, and and you kind of, it can also be a shock value, because you're like, wait, I behave like that? This is normal?
So it can really be a reality check sometimes.
Right. I mean, sometimes there might be a little bit of a disappointment, like, oh gosh, but,
You're human.
Yeah, you're human, and it's reality.
Yeah, exactly. Steph, what about you?
I agree. The good and the bad every season. I mean, what you see is what I did and what I said. So you have to take the good and the bad, and then hopefully learn and make yourself better whenever you don't like what you see.
Great
so
answer.
very
Knowing you
accurate.
all off camera, you are exactly the same as you are on the show as you are off the show.
Aw,
So I
thank
will
you,
say that's
Dave.
very accurate.
That's why your fans love you.
Yeah.
Well, look, last night, you guys did something that's so up my alley. I wish that I was there with you. You went to a haunted house.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes.
And Brandi, you revealed that since a very young age, you have had an ability to connect with the spiritual realm. So are there any spirits in here right now?
I'm sure there are, but it's like one of those things that kind of catches you off guard, and it happens when you least expect it.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully
Yeah.
Something will happen during the segment
Steph, you
that
guys
was
are
not
good
done by a
friends.
producer.
Or not, you know.
What happened when you first heard that she...
Sometimes we'll be talking and she's like, there's somebody right there. And I'm like, just do not, I don't want to know.
Is it a burden or is it a blessing, do you think?
It's
that
funny,
ability?
you know, that is something that you probably didn't see, that they didn't show, but so I did have a connection when we were in the haunted house, and it was very chilling and disturbing what this person had gone through, and so and it weighs heavy on me as an individual. So, but yeah, and I feel like that's also part of the reason that I am who I am, that I'm such a free spirit, is because I see spirits.
Wow, there you go. You know all the spirits.
Yeah, wow.
I live for it. Well, at the haunted house, also, Kary, you had a reading, and then you opened up to everyone about your childhood. Now, Leanne was actually here with us on Tuesday, and she said to us that she thinks there's a little bit of a double standard because sometimes when she shares her story, people make fun of that. Do you think there's a double standard there when it comes to...
Well, I'm not sure about that. I think my perspective was that, you know, I was just trying to, you know, they were asking me what the medium said to me, and I was trying to explain what she said and trying to share a little bit of me to, you know, the group and for them to try to understand a little bit about my childhood. And I think, you know, just Leanne kind of like, instead of listening and letting me explain my childhood, she just jumps in and tells me about hers, which is great. I mean, I respect what she went through, and I don't, you know, I never think that whatever she went through is horrible, and I, you know, feel for her. But, you know, you have to let somebody else, you know, get to know me,
Right.
you know, talk. Let me talk. let me
talk.
Like, yeah, let me talk. Like, hear me out.
Yeah.
You know, that was my main thing. You know, it's like, hey, I'm not saying that you shouldn't talk about your stuff, but you sometimes let me talk and explain
Right.
to me where I come from so you can get to know me.
Well, you did such a good job, I think, of confronting her and letting her know how you felt. I always appreciate it when a housewife comes to the table with feelings. But do you think you maybe had, this is a question that she also asked, had a little bit of like a preconceived notion about her, having seen the show before, or?
You know what? No, I honestly believe 100% like on my kids' lives that I went into this show and I said to myself, you know, I'm going to come in with 100% getting everybody a chance from the get-go. You know, I wanted to come in and just not have, you know, what happened to Kary or what happened to anybody, Deandra or anybody else. You know, I wanted to have my own assessment with Leanne. You know, so I that's what I did. I mean, and sadly, I think she thought that I was already going to have some, you know, I don't know, preconceived notion of her, and I think she kind of was very reactive towards me.
Yeah.
And I just felt like that, very like, she was very guarded, and already was kind of like, you know, not wanting to even, you know, share room at the beginning.
Spoiler alert, but she never had even watched the show. She didn't know what she was getting into.
No,
Wow.
Okay.
Really going in blind.
I did watch season 1.
Oh, okay.
And then, you know, I was watching it, not like when it was airing or whatever, because Kary Dewar was a good friend of mine, and
that's right,
so I
that's
knew
right.
her and everything. So I kind of watched it because of that, and then I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. And then, you know, my life is just so busy. I'm really not used to not be a big TV watcher. Now I watch every Bravo show, of course. But and then, you know, when they asked me to do it, I started TiVoing everything, and then I was really stressed out watching it.
Yeah.
So then I said, okay, I don't want to watch it anymore until after, you know, I film.
Right. And then speaking of opening up on camera, this season, Steph, you've been super open about your struggle with anxiety and mental health. And so Brandi and Kary, how's it been seeing Stephanie be so vulnerable and share her story and be an inspiration? You're getting teary right now, which is making me teary.
Yeah.
But it has been wonderful to see someone be so brave to share their struggles. So what have you learned from your amazing friend here?
It's a conversation that we had last night. I said, we were talking about it, and I said, I'm so proud of her because you know, and I feel like I'm always checking on her as well as it's going through the motion. And I think she's helped so many people by opening up. And it's, like you said, it's such a brave thing. And we're all so proud of you.
Yeah.
And I think it's also been one of those things, like watching her, I've seen her more confident and I've seen her stronger.
Oh,
Well,
it's Spirit
that's so
Day
sweet.
today,
It
which
is.
is obviously all about
Yes, it is.
anti-bullying.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what that means to you, having gone through and been so open about what your mental health struggles have been.
I just feel like everybody deserves kindness. Even if you don't understand each other, you at least should support and love each other and try to find a commonality. So I don't know, for me, I just feel like everybody deserves to be happy, and we should be happy for them regardless of who they are, what they want to do, anything. Like, it's just everybody should be loved, and everyone's deserving of that.
Absolutely.
I so appreciate all the great things that you said about mental health. It's allowed me to even feel much freer in my own mental health struggles.
For me, it was amazing too, because you have this beautiful girl that has everything, and then that suffers from that, and then I have a daughter of mine that suffers from depression, and having Stephanie come out, and it's made me understand her so much more.
Wow.
So it's been amazing. She's helped me understand my daughter.
Yeah.
So it's been
Steph, honestly,
amazing
as someone who
gift.
suffered from anxiety for a very, very long time, thank you for being so open and destigmatizing it.
Thank you.
And what
Big hug coming to you after this show, because we're getting all teary here.
I have to say, and one of the things that I love is that she has always been such a pleaser, and where she'll try to go over and beyond to please everyone. And I think for the first time in her life, she's like, you know what? I just cannot please everyone. Like, they've got to accept me for who I am.
Tough lesson to learn.
She
She needs to do it more.
Yeah, and it's their problem.
Yes.
It's their problem, not yours.
Yes. Well, look, on a bit of a lighter note, Leanne was here yesterday, as we mentioned, and she has a question for you girls. So you ready to hear it? Okay, let's play the question.
Hi, ladies. Oh, now don't get scared. I just want to know how you each would rank everyone's lingerie outfit at the shower. I mean, come on, who are the top 3 looks?
I will say, Stephanie, you were amazing. Your look was really, really good.
Stephanie's number 1.
Yes.
Everyone looks so gorgeous.
Everybody really.
Kary Duber really turned it out.
Yeah.
Look at that ponytail.
And then Brandi with her abs.
Yeah, Kary Duber. Yeah, Kary Duber was great too.
Yeah.
I mean, Leanne's outfit was really good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of Cameron's outfit? Did you agree that it was a little too safe?
Well, it's,
I would say that was the last one.
It's very safe, but it's very Cameron. Like, I did not think she was coming in lingerie. I really did not.
Mine
I
was
never
not
had
that risque
expectation.
either. I mean, it was just in the afternoon. So if it would have been in the evening, I would have gone all out.
You would have gone a little crazy.
And it's kind of crazy because the lingerie kind of represents, I feel like, people's personalities.
Absolutely.
You know?
Because I remember like walking outside, and I was so uncomfortable, and I would watch the show, and I was like covering my lady parts, like with my hands. I'm like, I'm kind of prude, I feel like. So that was like very much out of my comfort zone.
But like you said, it's different. If it's a nighttime thing, fair enough.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but
like
during the
walking
day,
around
I
in the daytime, yeah, it's
you know, I'm going to do the school run afternoon. Crazy.
Like, you go from that to pick your child up at school.
Exactly.
It's questionable.
Yes. Well, this is what Leanne said her favorite lingerie looks were.
yes,
So
I
why
know.
don't we see?
In my opinion, they were me. Brandi, you rocked it. And Duber.
Oh, I thought she was going to say me, and me.
I did too.
Maybe, yeah.
That's what I would have said if I were. I look the best all the way through.
Well, look, you all looked incredible. You all look incredible. Thank you so much for being here today. It was,
Thank you for having us.
Are you kidding?
much.
I mean, you came in, you made it a party, so it was amazing.
You're so sweet.
And of course, Dave.
Yeah.
Love
well,
you.
listen, and after this, let's all go to your house in Mexico, right? I'm down. I want to go to that house.
Do you have the plane waiting for us?
Yes, we'll get on the plane. We're done.
Guys, the show's over. We're going to Mexico. Okay, well, it is time to take a break. But after the break, Dave and I are challenging these lovely housewives to a game that we like to call The Most. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? You are watching Reality Check, and I'm here with Bravo expert Dave Quinn, and across from us are three lovely housewives of Dallas, Stephanie, Brandi, and Kary. All right.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, are you kidding? It is time to play basically a version of superlatives, but of course we came up with a cute name for it. It is called The Most. Cute name and a cute graphic and a cute little sound effect. All right, so here's how this is going to work. I am going to give you a situation, and I want you to tell me which of your castmates is most likely to end up in that scenario.
Okay.
Are you ready? And we'll go
this is fun.
one for
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
All right. So first up, who is the most dramatic Dallas housewife?
Leanne.
Oh, I would say Leanne, probably, yeah.
Okay. Brandi, care to sign off
Oh,
or
gosh.
counteract?
I think it was probably me.
Oh, really? You
actually.
think you're the most dramatic?
Okay.
I mean, Leanne did like knock a cameraman down. You didn't get that far yet.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's just anger management.
Oh, there you go.
I think for the purpose of this, we'll give it to Leanne.
We'll give it to
Yeah,
Leanne.
give it to Leanne.
But maybe next
Majority
season.
rule.
Yeah.
All right, who do you
Leanne.
think throws the most extravagant parties?
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Steph, I'm ready.
I vote. Just kidding. I vote for myself. Yeah.
What makes them the most extravagant? And do you enjoy
I
party
think
planning?
I probably throw the most annoying parties for the cast members because I love people to dress up in theme and just, I don't know, I just
But
like.
I love that. I love
Thank
that.
you.
That is, yeah, you're
She's always
hands
been
down
like that.
amazing.
And I always make sure I have enough food and alcohol.
Oh,
when you
nice.
drink,
That's
you get
key.
hungry.
Exactly.
But do you
Yeah.
actually enjoy the process, or do you find it stressful?
When you're filming, it's stressful because you're kind of throwing that in with a really hectic schedule, but it's really fun, and I usually only do like one a year.
Okay.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
We expect to be at the next one.
I know. I want to be there.
Buy them, yeah.
Okay, who spoils their kids the most?
I don't know, Brandi, your kids always have like the best of clothes and everything. I feel like you, and they're in cheerleading 5 days a
But
week.
then they look like rugrats.
There you go. Spoiling them does not make them spoiled.
Yeah.
by the way.
Right.
It just means you're throwing a lot of love their way.
Yeah.
And you definitely throw a lot of love.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know
Absolutely.
really who.
Thank you.
would be-
Yeah. I don't know. I think we're pretty balanced that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like
I think
everybody's-
there's not one that is like, oh, definitely this person is kind of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we're all the same.
Okay, well, Brandy's picture is up there, but only because she spoils them with love, not with material possessions.
Now, which one of you is the most likely to switch to a different Real Housewives franchise? Like, who do you think amongst your cast members?
Leanne. 'Cause
Leanne?
She's already been on so many reality shows.
Yeah,
That's
no,
right.
You're right.
Just send her
She's
to
been on
another
a few,
one.
Yes.
Well, which version do you think? Like New York, Beverly Hills?
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
I could totally see her in Atlanta. Yeah.
She could throw down with Nene
Yes,
and Portia.
she definitely could.
Ooh, I would kind of be nervous for
I
them.
would definitely want to watch that. Yes.
I would watch
She
it. It would
could
be
definitely
reality
hang.
TV. gold.
Crossover episode.
Yes.
Who is the most likely to spend $1 million the fastest?
Stephanie.
Really?
My husband maybe. But
What would you spend $1 million on?
well, I personally wouldn't, but my husband buys really crazy expensive cars. Like
Yeah.
he'll get drunk and then he'll be like, "Do you like this car?" And I'm like, "It's fine." He's like, "Oh, I just bought it," and then it'll show up like a few weeks later. So he spends a lot of money, but he says it's an investment, but really it's kind of
It's a
crazy.
toy. Yeah, it's a toy for him.
It's
Let
a
him
toy.
have
And he never
fun.
drives them.
He never drives them.
No,
Keeps them in pristine condition.
Yes.
How about this? Who is most likely to get into a bar fight?
Ooh. You're kind of feisty too, Kary. I would say either
I think
Leanne or
Kary.
Kary. I would say you, Kary.
I think Carrie.
Let's put Carrie's picture up there.
She does. Like,
We had a
Yeah.
situation one night when we went out, and she was asking a cop to arrest her.
Oh, really?
Probably because you wanted to be in the handcuffs, right?
What? Huh? I don't remember that. Oh,
definitely most-
maybe I was drinking tequila that night because tequila makes me very feisty.
Oh, there you go.
was-
That's why I
You
try to
are
stay away from
feisty.
it. I try to drink vodka most of the time.
It was hysterical. She's like, "Are you going to arrest me?"
Wait, I have a
He
follow-up
did not want to
question.
arrest her.
Was the cop hot?
I mean, of course.
There you go.
Yeah,
You
that's
definitely are most likely to stand and dance on the table. I will say that.
for
You like
sure.
to have a
Yeah.
good time, which I love.
And Dave, when you take it away, the last one here.
All right, well, who is most likely to run for president amongst your cast?
And remember, it's out of all of you guys, not just three of you.
Deandra.
Definitely not.
Deandra.
Yes, Deandra. Yes, Deandra.
her and her
For sure.
vocabulary.
yes.
We'd all
She
be
says
like,
words that I'm like, what was that word?
Well, what do you think what would get her elected? Like, what would her platform be?
She would say words that nobody understood, and they would just be like, "Yes, we support you because we want to feel smart."
I'd be all
Yes.
for it, but only if Mama D ran for vice president.
Oh, can you imagine?
I want the
2020.
two of them
Yeah,
going
no,
after it.
it would be. It would
That
be
would be a
lit.
situation.
Yes.
Well, look, ladies,
They would be fighting with each other more than anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so nothing really would change.
That would be entertaining.
Thank you so much for coming in today and playing this game. I hope you had fun.
Oh my God, it was so
absolutely.
fun.
It was
so
Yes,
much
thank
fun.
you for
Thank you so
having
much.
us.
Thank you.
Love you.
Remember, you are welcome anytime,
Yes.
as are you, of course. I mean, you work right upstairs. You have no
Yeah,
excuse.
Oh, I should probably get back at some point.
Everyone leaves me eventually. All right, you guys, catch Real Housewives of Dallas on Bravo Wednesday nights at 9, 8 Central. Ladies, thank you again. That was your reality check. What a show to end the week with. I want to say a big thank you to the Real Housewives of Dallas, Kary, Stephanie, and Brandi, and of course, People's Bravo expert, Dave Quinn. Now make sure you're following @People on Twitter so you can catch the latest episode of Reality Check, which streams Monday through Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Today, I have a reality history moment that'll leave you sleeping with the fishes. I wish I could do the accent, but I can't. I am Lyndsey Rodrigues, and I will check you next week. Bye.
There is no reason for you to play this little game. I'm not
trying to play a game.
In this 2015 episode of Mob Wives, the girls are having a sit-down in order to resolve Karen's Twitter feud with Natalie.
Whatever you gotta say, you wanna call me Miss Piggy, you wanna call me fat, you wanna call my... Say it now. Say it now. Oh. Say it now. You started it.
The wives try to reason with Natalie, but nothing's sinking in.
Everybody did their social media. Natalie, you do get below the belt. They don't like it, obviously. That's why they're here.
Don't do it to me.
Then, Natalie gives Karen an offer she can't refuse.
If you can't handle it, come at me.
Karen and Natalie's smackdown is one of the great moments in reality history, but big respect to Big Ange for trying to keep the peace.
I want you to have a sit down so everybody can make up. Instead, it became a brawl.